Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Welcome to our 24th episode of the Northeast Ohio Sports Show. Thank you for joining us. It'll just be me tonight. I haven't had dinner. It is currently August 28th. Let me make sure this is the most up-to-date one, actually. I think it might not be. No, it is. Alright. Make sure you drop a like. We'll be doing a quicker show today. Our first funny, not so funny topic is a ball boy injection. Iowa sports laugh out loud. Even the ball boy can get ejected in football. What's up, Northeast Ohio sports fans? We're talking about a high A baseball game where a ball boy got ejected. Let's sum up how wild sports could be. During a high A matchup between Quad City River Bandits and the Great Lake Loons, Dodgers affiliates, Warriors affiliate was the other team, not one but three people were ejected in the seventh inning, the catcher, the manager, and the ball boy. The bat boy got the boot for allegedly inciting fans with words or gestures, triggering something straight out of a quirky rulebook moment. It's funny because imagine being the kid retrieving bats instead of getting pointed at and sent to the dugout because you're one on the mound, because you're like one on the mound. So it's funny. Hopefully you could look it up and watch it online. It was pretty funny to watch. But I get it too. Like, you have to have good conduct. Just like a manager can get ejected if he's freaking out. Sometimes you gotta get the bat boy if he's trying to incite stuff and hyping up the crowd. If you're an away team or home team. Don't forget, below we have the next F1 Grand Prix this weekend. Dutch. And then we also have some of the NFL scores, of the NFL matches for next week. Once again, the Formula One standings are Oscar Piastri's in first, 16 points ahead of Lando Norris, who's in second. Oscar has 266 points, Lando has 250. Then we have Max in third at 185, George in fourth with 157, Charles Leclerc in fifth with 139, Lewis Hamilton in sixth for 109, Kimi Antonelli in seventh for 63, Albon in eighth for 54, Hulkenberg in ninth for 37, Ocon in 10th for 27. Once again, the drivers. That was for drivers. We're going to constructors. McLaren's in first, Ferrari's in second. Mercedes in third, Red Bull in fourth, Williams fifth, Sauber 6, Racing Bull 7th, Aston Martin 8th, Haas 9th, Alpine 10. We'll be going over real quick for Brown's training camp, their last 3 games in the preseason, the last game in the preseason against LA, and what's going on with our quarterbacks. Right now, for our starting game in 2 weeks, I guess a week from now, a week and a couple days, we'll be playing Cincinnati, and Joe Flacco will be starting. QB Carousel, Roster Roulette, and Stadium Dreams. Browns in 5. The Browns capped off their preseason with a wild 19-17 walk-off win over Rams 3-0 in the preseason. However, I don't know if you guys remember, whenever we do really well in the preseason, we normally do really bad in the regular season. But that's not always correlation. Joe Flacco got reps early, finishing 9 for 10 for 71 yards and a TD. Dylan Gabriel sparked life, going 9 for 11 in a 2-minute drive and adding a TB. Tyler Huntley stepped in for a late clutch 2-minute drive that set up Andre Smit's game-winning field goal with 2 seconds left. Once again, like I said, next week, week 1 against the Bengals, the regular season game, September 7th at 1 p.m. We'll be at home against Cincy. It all starts there. For trending Browns headlines, QB signings and depth shakeup. Bradley Zapp joins the practice squad, beefing up the QB room to 5. Flacco, Gabriel, Sanders, Watson, Zapp, a backup magnet. Deshaun Watson's season bid ended. Watson is on the reserve pup list after re-rupturing his Achilles, likely done for the season. Hope a TikTok was worth it. His massive contract continues to loom as a point of contention. Like I keep talking about, when they signed Watson, I was done with the Browns. I still don't watch them as much anymore. I don't think I've even been to a game since then. But like after just getting screwed over by the GM time and time again, the coach, the owners, doing this was not smart. It showed how desperate we are, which you never do as a team. I would much rather rebuild than get allegedly Massage Deshaun Watson on a team. We knew he had issues. He didn't play in 2 years. I said all of this right when it happened. People would have just roasted me all day. Them Browns fans, they love for Kool-Aid, and I get it. But we got to be smart about it, and sometimes you got to let your biases in all sports. Like, I love Mercedes. They're not doing the best. I love Ferrari. They definitely haven't been the best. And that's just how it is sometimes. But, like, being desperate and then, like, putting away your morals just isn't my type of thing. So faster we can get Watson out of here, the better, and I'll be happy. And also, I like racing more in football, but like that just made me so mad. So, Shedeur Sanders debate and injury saga. Critics like Shannon Sharp, but we know he's having issues right now. He got cut by ESPN, which me and Hunter talked about. It's sad, but kind of like Masad Watson. When you have issues, I don't know if you should be a public figure. He says Sanders being set up to fail and poor protection and suspect coaching. Hunter was saying this. And I was talking to people about this. During preseason games, they would basically put in, like, all the line that was blocking for Shedeur, we cut. So it's kind of sad, but it shows that, like, he could run, but he needs good protection. Yet he still made the 53-man roster as QB4. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett was traded to Las Vegas for a 2026 sixth-round pick. I mean, we sold, like, he had most rookie jersey sales. And kind of like me and Hunter were talking about before, like, we know that the future of the NFL was for Lamar Jackson, so why would we not go for Shedeur? I'm not saying he should start, like I talked about time and time again. He needs time, so I'm fine with him being a backup. We got Flacco for that reason. A stadium update. Brook Park moved forward. Despite aviation-related permit issues, for GCP confirmed that the plan for a new Browns Dome Stadium in Brook Park is absolutely happening. Rezoning approval keeps the project moving forward, with groundwork possibly starting in late 2025. Rezoning is good, but they still need to do the FAA things and have clearance, so I don't know what they're going to do, if they're just going to have certain part of the stadium be lower, not have planes fly over that area. What it means for us, QB drama is real. Flacco gets a week 1 nod, but competition behind him is fierce, with Sanders, Gabriel, and Zapp. Even Watson may shape in season more than expected, not this year, he's out for the year. Roster depth and value moves like Pickett trade and Zapp signing shows for GM planning ahead and staying flexible. I don't know if we need 5 QBs though. Stadium buzz could energize the region with long-term economics and emotional stakes for Cleveland fans, but a lot of Cleveland fans are mad about it, and I agree. Like, it's sad that we're seeing this in the NFL, but the name of the sports team doesn't mean anything anymore. Back in the day, they were more owned by the city, and the city would build them these stadiums. But nowadays, with this all these like private hedge funds and how much money some of these guys have, private backing, they could just build it and they go half, I'm pretty sure like half of this is going to get paid by the state anyway. So it's sad, sports, it helps with morale, but it doesn't help us advance at all. So we need more things to help us advance and actually help people, everyone, not just sports fans and Browns, football fans. Question for you, Northeast Ohio, is who is for QB to keep an eye on? I think Gabriel will have a good upside. I think Sanders' swag and how well he plays. I think he's better than Gabriel. He's better with completions. You know what I mean? And I do think Dylan Gabriel is good too. I just think Sanders, like I'm saying, it could be more like Lamar Jackson. When I see Gabriel, I see like for Joe Burrow. I don't know if he's gonna be good as Joe Burrow, but also kind of like oh man, I'm sorry, I forget his name, but he played for Oregon, was a quarterback. And we don't know if he's going to play out or veteran security with Flacco. Like I said, we need to play Flacco. If he gets hurt, then yeah, put one of these youngsters in. I would even say Gabriel and then Sanders. And if Gabriel does bad, put Sanders in. Who cares? Run a Wildcat. What do you think about the new stadium over the horizon? Like I said, I know a lot of people are upset about that. Some people like it, some people aren't fine with it. You know what I mean? Why should the state have to pay for it? I'm pretty sure Cleveland's not going to be paying for it anymore if it's outside of Cleveland. But, you know what I mean, it's just sad. People in Cincinnati have to play for the Cleveland Browns Stadium. That's just crazy. And personally, like, it's closer to the highway, I agree. But, like I'm saying, like, I think it's sad because, like, these sports teams should be in the city. Like, it sucks to drive, but it's such a better time. And it really is. I love the Pittsburgh Penguins for that reason. Like they have a great atmosphere around that stadium that you can go to. There's a lot of construction. You got to walk, but I'm used to that going to Cleveland games. Like if back in the day in Richfield Coliseum, I know a lot of the older people, older generations would notice that it was kind of like that. You show up in a parking lot, you're there, you walk a little bit, you at your show. That is nice. It is more convenient. But like you're not in Cleveland, and there's ways they could do it in Cleveland or renovate the old city. Old stadium would be hard because they want to get when you have a lake, like I always say. Sorry, my cat's having fun. When you have a lake in the way for half a stadium, you can't put concrete around it. You can, it'll be crazy expensive. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water, and then I want to go into a NASCAR recap. If you're watching the VOD, make sure you still drop a like. If you're watching live, drop a like. I really enjoy it. I'm on NASCAR and IndyCar recap. Sorry, IndyCar recap. So last week in NASCAR was amazing. Ryan Blaney in Daytona, with 2 laps left, went from 13th to 1st to win the race. 4 wide to win the race. People spun out on the inside. It was insane. And watching it live was amazing because watching it, I knew Blaney was going to win that. After that, when there was 1 lap left, and I think he was in 5th or 3rd. I think he was 5th, 4th, 5th. Sorry, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Like, you could tell, like, how the cars were going. It was just perfectly going to open up for him. He was a little bit on the outside, and he was just gunning it, which I freaking love. That's how you finish a race. You know what I mean? Like, you do need to worry if you're not finishing a race, gunning, because if you guys know how Daytona works, if I'm not mistaken, it's 3 turns, and the 3rd turn is by the checkered. So you're gunning it into an embankment turn to win the race, which is amazing. Blaney's Daytona Dash, Darlington Drama, and NASCAR's big moves ahead, which is great to see. It was for regular season finale. He snatched a last lap victory in Daytona's Coke Zero Sugar 400. I thought it was just called Coke Zero before. Is it literally called Coke Zero Sugar now? Like, what is such a long name? The playoffs about to kick off and several big news headlines burning in the feed. Let's see what's up. He stormed like I said, stormed the 13th. It clutched his win of the final 2 laps. His second win of this year. His second at Daytona and 15th win in his career. His victory secured playoff spots for teammates like Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick. While Bowman grabbed the final berth on points, Blaney vaulted to 2nd in the regular season standings and picked up a bonus playoff points, which is great. He went up. We'll talk about that in the standings here in a bit. In the nail biter, Ryan Blaney edged Daniel Suarez, which is crazy. He needs to get some wins just by 0.031 seconds under primetime lights, which is amazing. But next up is the Cookout 7500 at Darlington Raceway, which is Sunday, August 31st at 6 p.m. So once again, another primetime game, but we have Monday off. This iconic lady in black kicks off round of 16 in the NASCAR playoff bracket. Darlington remains precise and respect drivers when you need to have poised aggression to survive without elimination and to survive the elimination of the playoffs. Trending NASCAR headlines, we knew about this for a while, but Ram is returning to the Truck Series. Ram announced its return to the Truck Series in 2026, partnering with Calig Racing as its lead factory team. With up to 5 trucks planned, for charter dispute drama, NASCAR plans to sell a charter tied to a 2-3XI Racing and Front Row Motorsports amid an antitrust lawsuit. Court approval is required, and the saga continues to unfold. That is Michael Jordan's team. Series namesake. A big change ahead. Starting in 2026, the second-tier Xfinity Series is becoming the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, as O'Reilly takes over from Xfinity as the sponsor title. O'Reilly's making that money. Legendary loss. NASCAR mourned the death of Humpy Wheeler, iconic promoter of Charlotte Motor Speedway and a voice of Tex, Dinko, and Cars, which I don't know if you guys knew that, but I actually knew that because I'm just a NASCAR fan like that. He passed away at 86, leaving a legacy of racing spectacle and innovation. Tex Dynaco, the older owner of Dynaco, which makes a lot of sense because NASCAR started in Charlotte. The Hall of Fame's in there. And if you ever in Charlotte, it's a beautiful sight to see. I've been there when I was younger, and I need to go again. What it all means, playoff doors crack open. Blaney's win sets up the season's dramatic kickoff at Darlington, where every lap matters now. Big moves brewing with Ram, a rebrand, charter stakes up. Now let's go with the standings. We're actually going to go cutoff line up. So right now, the cutoff line is 12th and 13th. So 16th, we have Alex Bowman, -5 points from the lead. Wait, I don't even know. Sorry. -5 points from a cutoff. He's 48, the old Jimmy Johnson driver now. Took over his spot. 15, Austin Dillon, number 3. Both of these guys are Chevys. Austin Dillon, number 2 away. Obviously, he's Dale Jr.'s. And seniors. Tyler Reddick's in 14th, number -1. He's in that 23XI team. Josh Berry, he drives Toyota. Josh Berry drives a Ford, and he's in 13th, -1 points from cutoff. Above cutoff in 12, we have Joey Logano at +1. 11, we have Ross Chastain at +1. 10, we have Aston Cindric at +2. 9, we have Bubba Wallace at +2, tied. Then we bump up to Chase Briscoe at 8th. Briscoe is +4, like I said. Chase Elliott in 7th is +7. Shane Van Gisbergen, 88, is in 6th with +16. Huge difference there because he gets some wins. Christopher Bell's in 5th with +17. Ryan Blaney's in 4th with +20. He has 3 points behind Danny Hamlin, who was +23 in 3rd. Then we have William Byron in 2nd at +26, and Kyle Larson at 1st. Kyle Larson and William Byron are both tied in points, +26. So it might actually be Kyle Larson's year. We was talking that trash of Indy and everything, but he's been so consistent to stay top 10, top 5 to get them points. I really want Blaney to win. He is only 6 points away. Him and Kyle Larson and Byron will be fighting. This top 4 is insane. You know what I mean? There's only 6 points away from these people in the top 4. 2 of them are tied. One's 3 points away from the leaders. One's 6 points away from the leaders. It's just insane. And then really the only 2 that are kind of close are Bell and SVG at 17 and 16. I don't think anyone else. Bubba Wallace ain't winning this. It would be hard. So it would be interesting to see. I'm really excited for the next race. Here in IndyCar, we have Rasmussen's Riot, Pillow's Legacy, and Nashville Showdown. Christian Rasmussen, driving for Ed Carpenter Racing, secured his first ever IndyCar win, overtaking Alex Palou, who dominated much of the race, including a leading 99 out of 234 laps, only to be surprised right at the end. It was a rookie-defining moment. NASCAR-style drama captivated viewers. The broadcast drew about 780,000 average viewers, holding steadies for the midsummer's coverage, and we only got one more race left after this, last 2. Meanwhile, Alex Palou has already clinched his 4th championship in 5 years, notching 8 wins on the season and remaining a dominant force. His season has already been unmatched, winning the Indy 500 and leading nearly every session. Rasmussen's emergence gives fans a thrilling twist, even as Palou's legacy expands. We thought he was going to win that race just till the end. Safety cars, tires, just how it be. The season finale is set for Sunday, Nashville Superspeedway, August 31st at the Borgata Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at Nashville. It's a 225 laps around the Texas-style oval. This race is the last shot for teams to shine before the season wraps, and veterans like Palou and rising stars like Rasmussen to battle for glory. People who I love, like Ward, to make sure he gets 2nd. In Buzz News, Red Bull Racing is reporting eyeing up Alex Palou. We might be talking about that in F1 as well. For a seat alongside Max Verstappen in F1's 2026 lineup. Though Palou and Chip Ganassi has denied the talks and said he's contracted till next year. Also treading inside lines highlights Palou's season-defining traits, his unexpected quality, consistency, and oval dominance. Standings: Palou at 260. 670. At first, Pato O'Ward in second at 505. Scott Dixon third at 433. Christian Lundgaard in fourth at 426. Kyle Crookwood in fifth at 405. Tied for sixth is Colton Herter and Marcus Armstrong. Eighth is Will Power. Good for him. Ninth is Felix Rosencrest. 10, Scott McLaughlin. David Malukas, Christian Rasmussen, Rinus VK, Alexander Rossi, Santino Ferrucci, Joseph Newgarden in 16, Graham Rahal in 17, Colin Dixon, Kiffin Simpson 18th, Connor Daly 19th, Marcus Ericsson 20th. It's crazy how Joseph Newgarden is one of the worst Penske drivers this year, is having a really bad year, and Will Power doesn't have a seat for next year. They need to re-sign him. We kind of already talked about most of what we needed to. I'm going to go about more free agency buzz for the NBA. Sam Merrill resigns with the Cavs on a 4-year deal, keeping a sharpshooter around Northeast Ohio, which is great to see. Miles Turner heads to the Bucks on a 4-year, $107 million deal. LeBron James exercises his 53 or 52.6 player option, locking his 23rd season momentum. If he gets a win on his number year, that would be crazy. Championship. James Harden inks a 2-year, $81.5 extension with the Clippers. Plus, key signings along the league: Kevin Porter Jr. to Milwaukee, Tyus Jones to Orlando. Hope everyone's having a great day. Mark Cuban put brakes on expansion dreams, calling them financially unrealistic and urging attention towards global growth instead. In Cavs-related news, Max Strus is out 3 to 4 months with a foot injury, leaving Cleveland in need of a veteran shooter. Malik Beasley, sorry, could be a target. He's really old. He's been cleared gambling allegations and could be available in the offseason. We don't have anyone that gambles in a Cleveland sports team, so let's get him. We already got the massage guy, and we got our best pitcher out. So I'm just tired of Cleveland sports. Overall, the Cavs' offseason gains positive grade, though, adding Ball and keeping Mitchell. Rotation depth and Garland's availability would be critical. I agree. I think Garland's one of our best three-point shooters. He won three-point contest in Cleveland. The league says goodbye to several veterans. Bozan Bogdanovic, which people should know very well. Marco Bellini, don't know it too well. And John Wall. Wow. John Wall. Officially retire. The departures mask the end of eras for many teams. John Wall's team. Bogdanovic played for a long time. In leadership changes for Timberwolves and Lynx name Matthew Cadwell as their new CEO, a high-profile hire expected to energize both organizations' strategic growth. Over the film and gaming crossovers, NBA 2K26 is celebrating the strength of Australian talent. Dyson Daniels, Josh Giddey, and 4 rookies are on the front and cover. That's interesting. I love that. And ESPN projects for Warriors to be a play-in team next season, fueled by their aging core and still competitive Western Conference. Don't forget, guys, we have the F1. We'll be going to that now, but drop a like if you've been enjoying the content, even on a video on demand. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm, which I really enjoy and appreciate. We have a Facebook below in our description. Follow us on there, and if you could drop a like on our posts and maybe share if you're really in the mood, really like the content, really appreciate it. Get that word out there of all of our shows. For the F1 Netherlands Grand Prix, Heineken Dutch Grand Prix, Zandvoort. Free practice 1 is Friday at 6:30. Free practice 2 is at 10 tomorrow. Free practice 3 is at 5:30 on Saturday. Qualifying is at 9 a.m. Saturday. Race 9 a.m. Sunday. I'm very excited. About 9 hours left till the first free practice. So once again, like I talked about last week, this is a very short 14-turn racetrack. 2 short DRS zones, 1 being curved. So it'll be interesting. I think it's interesting that the DRS zone here for the straightaway, the start straight, is only half of it, like I said. I think it's because of elevation. McLaren returns with momentum. Oscar Piastri tops the standings by 9 points, like I said, over teammate Lando Norris, who continues his hot stress. 3 wins in 4 races, including Zandvoort last year. McLaren holds a commanding lead in the Constructors' Championship. If you take Ferrari and Mercedes combined, they're still not over them. Zandvoort is narrow with steep banking, tough to overtake, making qualifying position absolutely vital this weekend, which we kind of talked about a little bit. In a headline-making move, McLaren revealed their new name for next season, for McLaren MasterCard Formula One team. So like how Mercedes has Petronas, I don't know if Red Bull has Visa in their name, but obviously like Red Bull's kind of already a brand. Powered by a record-breaking $100 million per year deal. MasterCard say, hey, thank you for that high interest rate, America, giving it to F1, which is crazy. Fans are divided about the commercialization. Some applaud innovation. I don't call that innovation. Others cringe at the corporate splash, which I agree. You know what I mean? Ferrari. I think they might be called HP Ferrari now, and I'm kind of tired of all this selling out. Like, we see, like, even with NHL players, they literally have sponsors on their helmets. NBA teams, sponsors now. Freaking Guardians have Marathon on their freaking jerseys. And when you buy it, it comes with a sponsored logo. I'm going to stitch that out. Why? Like, I get it. Oh, I want to look like the players, but I'm not a sponsor, bro. And I get sports is kind of a sponsorship in itself, but to put corporations into sports like this is just crazy to me. Petronas is a little bit different because Mercedes and Petronas made a deal back in the day, right when they started, because they're an oil company. Petronas helped Mercedes make the most efficient racing engine ever. You can look it up. Ever. Which is crazy. They make the fuel for Mercedes. You know what I mean? That makes sense. You know what I mean? If it's Shell, if it's McLaren Shell Formula One team, it would make sense. But not for this. Verstappen's emotional return home. He didn't win last year. He hasn't been winning for Red Bull races, for Belgian races, his Dutch races. Racing in front of the Orange Army. Says he's feeling no pressure, even after a recent dip in results. His home racetrack, success, his legacy, 3 wins and poles from Zandvoort. Zandvoort's return through 2023. Expect a crowd-fueled show. He still might be able to do well. Hopefully he does. I'm not saying he should do bad, but it's just sad that he hasn't been able to win at all. At the Red Bull Ring in Belgium, his fans are just, it's going to get sad, in my opinion. He's staying there next year. I don't know if that's the best plan either. Strategic shift. Pit lane speed goes up. FIA raised Zandvoort's pit lane speed limit from 60 to 80 kilometers an hour, allowing more varied tire strategies and maybe two stops. With tight turns and overtaking rare, strategy could change the game's outcome. Also, I don't know, not everyone might notice, in F1 they have different tire compounds. They have hard, soft, medium, and wet. However, they change the rubber of those tires every weekend. Very confusing. I hate that they do this. They used to just have numbers, C1, C2, C3, C4. They still have that, but now they always have to have the 3 different tires in the weekend, and then they have the wet tires too. But they need for hards, which are whites, softs, which are reds, mediums, which are yellow. What they're doing this weekend is they're bringing the C1s, C2s, and C4. They did this last race where they used to do C1, C2, C3 if it's not a hot race. If it's a super hot race, they would go like C2, C3, C4. Because the higher the number, the harder the compound of rubber. So that's why in a harder race, the rubber burns off more actually, so you need more rubber. Softer, not as hot race, you don't need that. Zandvoort's not hot, it's not the desert, so they won't need hard tires. However, when you do that, it makes it like very easy to pick either the hard tire or the soft tire. However, when they stagnate it and they make the harder tire actually has more rubber on it, so it's a little heavier, it degrades less over time, less speed time over time, it makes it where, I can't use a hard tire for the whole race. You could do a one stop with a medium or a soft, you know what I mean, but you know how the deterioration goes, which that's what we're talking about, how strategy comes into play. There's a lot you could do. Lando got to win the last race with a one stop on the C4. So I think it's very realistic that it could keep happening. I think what they really need to do is go C2, C3, C4. And then of the harder ones, go C3, C4, C5. Because the problem is, the softs are really good to get good speed at the start, and then you switch on over medium, and then you switch on that hard after your first pit once you have more space, and you're ahead of people, hopefully, and you just drag it off for the rest of the race. So we need to have more deterioration on the hard tire and less deterioration on the soft tire. And you do that by going up the numbers. So if now your soft tire is a C2 instead of a C1, it deteriorates less. So now they're going to drive that soft tire a little bit more. Then they might be able to use a medium. Or they're going to start on a medium, go to hard. It's weird. It's all about strategy. Sometimes they'll go soft medium and hope for it to count, because now that medium's also a higher compound if it starts off at C3 instead of C2. Hopefully that helps. It's very confusing. You could look it up, though. One thing about the speed limits, though, is that most of the speed limit tracks in F1 are already 80. I'm guessing Monaco is the only one that's 60 because it's so short over short pit lanes. So I'm fine with making most of them 80. Storylines to watch is the title tension between Norris saving in the Piastri's lead, McLaren's Brandon Gambler, how MasterCard's name brand long-term, Verstappen's moment, outsider or home hero. They're still going to love him. I just don't think he'll win. I think the pit speed tweak will help out with strategy, spotlight, and a 2-stopper upset, like I said, or a 1-stopper, and just gunning it. You're not going to be able to pass, so it will be interesting because, once again, they're stagnating the tires. I'm going to take a sip. Now I want to hear from you guys. Even I get notifications for this, so even if this is a video on demand, drop what you feel about it. Being an American, F1 fan is very interesting to me. Now we're almost done. We'll be going into the Guardians. Since last week, they're actually off today. They're back on tomorrow and Friday. Since last week, we got swept by the Rangers. Last Friday, lost 3-4. Then we lost 0-10. And we lost 0-5 Sunday. Horrible. We were away, though. We were at home against Tampa Bay, and actually pretty decent. We lost Monday, 0-9. Won Tuesday, 3-0. Won Wednesday, 4-3. We finished this month with the Mariners this weekend for Labor Day. At home. Hopefully we'll be able to win. Rock and roll blast the next 2 days. Friday and Saturday for the events. Kids Fun Day, Sunday. Friday, 7:10 game. Saturday, 7:15 game. Sunday, 1:10 game. So hopefully we'll be able to get more wins, and we could actually get our what do you call it? Sorry, guys. Record better. Right now the Guardians are 66 and 66. We're at 500, not doing the best. Let's see how we're doing the standings. We are 10.5 games behind Detroit, and 2 games behind Kansas City. Kansas City has 3 wins, 1 less loss. Right now in the wild card, we ain't looking the best. Our streak is 2 wins, but Boston's on 4 wins. New York's on 4 wins. Seattle's on 1. Kansas City and Texas are on 2. Athletics are coming up. But basically for the wild card right now, it goes Boston, New York, Seattle, KC, Texas, Cleveland. So we're not doing the best. I don't think we're going to be getting that. But we'll see. So yeah, we play tomorrow. And that's really it for me. We had a rookie, Spark Ends on the skid, though. Parker Mizik, for rookie lefty, continuing his magical start against Tampa Bay on Tuesday. His second straight dominant outing, 7 shutout innings, 6 strikeouts, and 0 walks, and he became the only second player in MLB after Joe Musgrove to post consecutive starts with 6 Ks with less than 1 run and less than 1 walk, which is crazy, tremendous. This performance ended both a 26-inning scoreless drought and a 6-game losing streak. Yesterday, the Guardians followed it up with a 4-3 walk-off win thanks to Nolan Jones, game-tying homer, and clutch Cal Manzardo walk-off single in the 10th. That victory pulled him back to 500, like I said, keeping the Wild Harp still alive, and we are 5 games back in the race. But once again, like I said, we got swept, which is horrible, putting us 2 consecutive shutouts into 5-0 loss, with Merrill Kelly dominating and Tellez and Penderson going deep. The loss dropped them 1-9 since August 15th, and deep into wildcard deficits, having a horrible season. In roster news, which is sad, I love him. Veteran Carlos Santana was placed on outright waivers this week, likely closing the book on his third straight stint in Cleveland. His struggles with a .225 average for .650 OPS and the rise of younger options like Manzardo and CJ Kifis opened the door for his move. If we did want to try to do a wild card run, we would need him, so I really don't like doing waivers, but if no one picks him up, we might be okay. Off the field, tension simmered in the drought. Pitcher Tanner Bybee had a heated exchange with manager Stephen Vout during the Rangers series, which is sad. It's a signal of growing frustrations amid slumping offense in urgent times. I really think since we lost Tito, it's kind of hard to have him. Vaught has been with the team for a while, and we just need a team how it used to be with great pitching and not being upset by this. Bybee's, he's good, but he's not Bieber. He's not Kluber. You shouldn't be yelling at your manager either. So hopefully we'll see how we do, guys. An F1 topic that wasn't on here, F1 Cadillac rumors, they ended up signing Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, which is great to me. I love Pato O'Ward. He's Mexican. Sergio Perez, is Mexican. I think this will really help out Cadillac with their American audience. There's a lot of Mexicans that love Mexican-Americans, Mexicans in Mexico that love racing. So it's really going to help out that Cadillac American GM brand that they're trying to get into F1, and I really think it's going to help. Since it's just me tonight, I want it to be a little bit of a quicker one. If you guys have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. Make sure you drop a like if you like the content. Don't forget, we'll be back Sunday with the Healthy Living Show. Trevor's been a little bit less busy since moving in. Still doing a lot of stuff around the house, so it'll take a bit. But we'll be back, and we need to talk a little bit about the fall and how it's getting colder now, which is not fun. Our week ahead news show will be on Monday at 8:30. For the Healthy Living Show, we try to do 2 to 4. Follow us on Facebook because we post everything on there. And always just watch the video on demand. That really helps out as well. Get us out there. Thank you guys for watching the Northeast Ohio Sports Show with Liam. Hunter wasn't able to make it today. It was the 24th episode. Have a great night, Ohio. One more day, then we have a 3-day